Hello everybody, how are you today? I am going to be sharing with you my piece, my cover piece for Susanna, who is a Vintage Blend Studio on YouTube. She's doing a project called Vintage Sewing. It's a book that she's putting together, and it's using vintage sewing techniques, and I'm doing that as well. I purchased her PDF with the requirements and the templates in it, but I'm using my own products, you could say, my own materials to make it. She does have kits available in her store. I'm not sure if there's any left now, but she did have some. But anyway, before I do that, I want to show you something I just received in the mail. Recently, I was contacted by a company called Whiskf, that's WISKF, and they make bags, just shopping bags, canvas bags, just, easy tote bags. And they asked me if I'd like to sample some of their bags, and I said yes, because bags are great storage. I have learnt over the last couple of years, especially with doing slow stitching and things like that, that having a bag at the side of me with all those things for that project in it is so easy. When I've finished, I pick it all up, put it in the bag, and can get on with something else. And at the moment, I have 3 projects going on. I've got some journals I'm making. I've got 2 sewing projects going, and they've just come at the right time. So let me show you what they've sent me as best I can. Now, they asked me to choose 5 items. So I've chosen 5 items. As you can see, I've taken them out of the package, but I haven't opened them. So let me just put them to one side. So this is the first thing I asked for, and this is actually an apron. This is called, I've just got my tablet over here. It's a linen print apron, and it's called Plant, and it's a waterproof apron as well. So it's obviously been treated. So let's just have a look at it. And these come in different sizes. So be aware that you need to look at the measurements of the sizes on the website if you're going for anything you're buying online. Always check those sizes properly, because what might be a small or a medium or a large in one country may be totally different in another country. So always check the measurements before ordering. Now, I got this in a large size because I'm a little bit round, and I thought for comfort I would get the large, and by the look of it, probably a good idea. I'm just going to stand up and kind of slip it over my head, and yep, plenty of room in this. And so this is going to be for me in the garden, and I thought, how pretty is that for in the garden? And it's not as heavy as I thought it would be. It's nice. It's a lightweight apron, and that's what it looks like all the way down to the bottom, even watering cans on it. So that will be nice to use when I'm pottering around the garden. Lovely. Very happy with that. Okay, we'll just pop that to one side and have a look at the other things that I've received. Now, so the next 2 things I asked for were these 2 tote bags. They're actually called Canvas Shopping Bag, and this is in the dot. It's a fashion shoulder bag. This is in the dot pattern, and this is in the ling pattern, which, it's, to me, it's a harlequin pattern, isn't it? I love it. I love it. I love the black and the off-white. I really like it. It's nice and crisp looking. On the handle, you get a ribbon. That's on the back. I might just swap that and pop it on the front here. It's a striped fabric ribbon that can be tied around and tied into a bow as well. And that's just, you know me with my bows. There we go. If I was to keep the bow on there, I would probably stitch it on to look a lot nicer than that, but you get the idea. So that is that bag. Now that's quite a good size bag. Just let me get my tape measure here and measure that. I'll do it in inches. I've got centimeters as well. So it's approximately 16 and a half inches, which is 42 centimeters, by 12 and a half inches, which is 32 centimeters. But it also has a flat bottom, and that's what I love about it. I wanted bags with a flat bottom, so you've got that gusset and it will sit on the floor nice and neatly. They are very big, but that's okay. So you just pop the bottom out like that, and that will stand up all by itself on my floor. I really need to put a prettier bow on. Inside, and it's like out of a canvas fabric, inside, there we go, we have a zippered pocket, which is mesh inside, and that's the inside. There's not an awful lot I can say about it. It's waterproof by the feel of it because it's got a lining on it, but I'm very happy with that. So that's that one that I got. And then there's the dot one, which is exactly the same. Also comes with a nice stripy ribbon, which I will tie a nice bow, and exactly the same inside. Very, very nice. Now, to go with these, I chose a couple of cosmetic purses. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to, just let me flatten that down. I wanted to be able to store some smaller things in the big bag, you know, because when you're doing your projects, you normally get a lot of little bits, you know, that might get lost in the bottom of the bag. So I decided I would grab a couple of cosmetic purses to put all those little bits in. Now, these are the two lovely cosmetic purses that I chose, and I think they're wonderful. I thought they would go very nicely with the bags, and I'm so pleased with how they look. Now, one of them is called Flowers, and the other is called Rose Flower. Now, I'm not quite sure which is which. I don't think it said on the bag what they were, and no. But I did take a look on the website. Unfortunately, they're not available at the moment. Hopefully they will come back into stock because I think they're just beautiful. They're so pretty. They're a polyester and they're padded. Have a little tag there, so if you wanted to hang a charm or something, you could. And they're waterproof inside, and like I said, they're padded, and they're just a simple little cosmetic bag with a slight gusset effect, like a, you know, they've got a little flat bottom effect, so if you wanted to put things, they would stand up in there. And this is the other one. Oh, they're wonderful. I love how they go with these so nicely. And so these are what I will be using for my sewing projects. These bags and these cosmetic purses. because we get a lot of stuff. Now, just for example, now this is a project I've only just started. Which one's going? All right, I'm just going to leave it like that. This is a project that I've only just started, and this is for Susanna. So this is the vintage sewing project that she's doing. So these are my PDF forms that I've printed out. I printed them in a smaller size because I'm making a smaller book. And I'll put a link to Susanna's channel so you can go and have a look at that. And this is the book I'm making. And it's all going to be in blues. That's what I've decided. This one's going to be all in tones of blue. But I've got that. But to go with that, I've pulled out all these blue things. And I've just got them sat down here. And look at all this. You know, I can't have that just sat down here by me. It needs to be contained. So all this will be able to go into here. And it will be kept beautifully contained with lots of room to add to. But it won't get lost. You know, I'll know where everything is, and if I want it for something else, it's easy enough for me to get. Now, all of that fabric, you know, it's barely touched the surface, and then I can put in my project itself, and then other bits and pieces as we go along can go into the cosmetic bag as well, so I don't lose anything. And that's all in one place and easy for me to find. So they are the bags that I received from Whiskers. But let me show you my project that I'm making while Susanna's making hers. And like I said, it's not exactly the same because I'm using my own materials. Now, I just have to, I've written down the stitches so that I know and I can tell you what they are. So this is mine, and that's my book. It's similar size to the first Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, the red one I did. So this one's going to be blue. This will not go on the cover. This will be like a title page inside my book. And like I said, I've done it all in shades of blue. I've done the same stitches that Susanna has done and the same overall design as she's done. I've just done it on a smaller scale. I did do some French knots on my background here just to keep it nice, you know, just to feel nice. I've blanket stitched my floral piece on in the background, and I've done all my leaves like she did hers. I've done some colonial knots in the center of my flowers there, along with some stem stitches and some straight stitching here. I also did some lazy daisy stitches just on the base of this flower as well. I've used some vintage rickrack around the edge. I have my little hexagon, which is a lot smaller than hers. The only thing I don't have is the needle that she is using, because I don't have a blunt needle to use, but I don't think that's, you know, that's not, if I come across one, I can always add it later, can't I? I have my circle as my base, just as she did. I've got my 3 buttons. These are some lovely mother of pearl buttons, and I've added some more leaves down the bottom here instead of around the circle how she has hers. I loved doing this. I probably haven't done quite as much stitching on my flower piece at the top as she's done, but that's because I don't have a lot of shades of blue. If while we're making this I find or get some more shades of blue, I may do some more on these flower pieces here. But until then, I just don't have the right shades. And you can see I'm using different shades of blue in mine. They're not all going to be the same tone. And I like that. love blue, so you know, I'm sure this is going to be such a fun project to be going along with. I'm not going to film it step by step because she's showing you everything on her channel. I'm just going to show you my page once I've finished it. And I hope that, you know, you might be interested in doing it along with her also. So that is, I think I said everything I need to say. Slip stitch, where did I use, and fly stitch. Okay, so these leaves are fly stitch. I like the way they look. I doubled my leaves over just so they would stand out a little bit. I've got a little bit of calico behind them just so they pop up a little bit more. Couching. Couched the rickrack on. What else? French knots. Yes, I've said that. Back stitch. Where did I use back stitch? I know I've got running stitch. Oh, okay, it could have been for the sewing, vintage sewing words. But anyway, there it is there. I'm not sure if she did blanket stitch around her floral piece, but my fabric, it does tend to fray a little bit, so I decided to do that around mine. So I hope you like that, and I hope you like the books that the bags, sorry, oh my goodness, the bags that I've received from Whisker. I hope I'm saying that right. I think they're wonderful. Look at them. They're so happy looking. Let me get the other one and show you again. Just so beautiful. There we go. I have a discount code in the description box below if you're at all interested. But like I said, I could not find... I'll put the links to them, but it's not coming up with anything. But if you keep your eye on the website, they may bring them back into stock. I hope so, because don't they look fabulous together? They really do. Where's that other one? I love it. So, so nice. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed seeing that and my little infomercial as well. And I'll be back shortly with my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. Maybe today or tomorrow I'll do another video on where I'm at with that one. So take care, everybody. Bye.